Let me ask you, do you think that General Patton was woke? I don't think so. What do you think, Mike? Mike, was he woke? I don't think so. I don't think he was too woke. He was the exact opposite. You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit.
Have you ever noticed how the term woke used to mean being socially conscious, but now it's become a cultural buzzword that triggers debates at Thanksgiving dinners? Well, somewhere along the way, it turned into a full-blown ideology, complete with its own set of rules, enforcers, and unwritten laws. For years, the woke movement seemed unstoppable, like it was on a spending spree with Elon Musk's credit card with no limits. But then came Donald Trump, stepping into the cultural debate with bold energy, challenging woke ideas in his own unique style. And here's where things get interesting. Trump didn't just oppose woke culture, he turned it into his personal punching bag. It wasn't a subtle, strategic takedown. In fact, it was loud, messy, and borderline chaotic. Kind of like Trump himself. Wokeism, at its core, sounds like a noble idea, right? Addressing social inequalities, fighting discrimination, and supporting LGBTQ rights feels like something you'd hear in an Oscar acceptance speech. Back then, it focused on Black people striving for equality, which is undeniably important. But somewhere along the way, it expanded to include issues that turned every casual disagreement into a potential Twitter war. The thing is, defining woke isn't exactly straightforward. Joanna Williams nailed it in her 2022 book How Woke Won when she said, "Woke may be ubiquitous, but it is also elusive. To some, it's as clear as daylight. To others, it's murkier than the plot of a Christopher Nolan movie." For Trump supporters, it's not a debate about identity. It's about keeping the game fair. But here's where it gets fun. Wokeists don't just disagree, they frame this stance as outright hostility toward the LGBTQ community. Now, let's put things into perspective. Compared to, say, Vladimir Putin, Trump's so-called anti-LGBTQ moves are like comparing a kiddie pool to the Atlantic Ocean. In fact, the Republican National Committee even released a laundry list in 2020 detailing Trump's unprecedented steps to support LGBTQ rights. Trump doesn't shy away from the topic, calling late-term procedures murder. Radical? Sure. But is it misogyny, as some woke critics claim? To his supporters, restricting abortion at the extreme end isn't an attack on women. It's about protecting the unborn. But labeling everything Trump says as anti-woke feels a little, well, lazy. Then there's Trump's famous jab at Kamala Harris, who's flip-flopped between identifying as Indian and Black. His comment, "It doesn't matter to me, but she has to decide which one," was called racist by activists. But his supporters see it as a fair critique of political opportunism. Is it blunt? Yes. Trump's boldness when addressing woke culture has always been a spectacle, and here's a perfect example.
That they've never worked in terms of construction, in terms of so many different jobs. I had a woman who was in charge of the building of Trump Tower many years ago, before it was even thought, before anybody would have even thought of it, and did a fantastic job. I have given women more opportunity than I would say virtually anybody in the construction industry. I have a daughter named Ivanka and a wife named Melania who constantly want me to talk about women's health issues because they know how I feel about it, and they know how I feel about women. I respect women. I love women. I cherish women. You know, Hillary Clinton said he shouldn't cherish. Well, I said I do cherish. I cherish.
Take this clip, for instance. A feminist, determined to make a point, indirectly accused Trump of being against women. But instead of shying away, he met her head-on, turning the tables in classic Trump fashion. When she said, "I don't think you're a friend to women," Trump didn't miss a beat. With a smirk and perfect timing, he quipped, "I knew I shouldn't have picked her." But even after this, Trump wasn't done dropping bombshells. Oh no, not even close. In a video he published himself. Because of course, when you're Donald Trump, you direct your own blockbuster, he waded into a cultural debate hotter than a July afternoon in Florida. And in true Trump fashion, he didn't tiptoe around the subject. He stomped right in with his signature bluntness.
As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family. the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parents' consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago.
But that wasn't the only time Trump weighed in on gender debates. This time, he took on the hot-button issue of transgender athletes competing in women's sports. And as usual, he didn't hold back. Trump declared,
And by the way, we should not allow men to play in women's sports.
The crowd erupted in thunderous applause. This guy loves to stir the pot, doesn't he? He just can't help himself. Trump couldn't resist gloating a little. He revealed that the political geniuses and consultants had warned him not to touch this topic. Then, by using his incredible storytelling skills, Trump made his point even more convincing. He started narrating a story of a female swimmer.
It's crazy. I tell the story of the great swimmer, great female swimmer, wonderful woman, beautiful woman. She's been swimming for many years. She wants to break the world record. And she's at the pool and she wants to break it by an eighth of a second. That's like fast. And she's going to do it. She's getting ready. And she looks down. She sees all people she's been competing with for years because they rise to the top. And she looks over here and she sees people. But then she looks and and they call this, they say this. She sees somebody with a man's body. That's what they do. They call it. I said, you think it's okay to say that? That's actually the expression they're using. They'll change that soon, so I have to do it quickly. I have to say it, because they're going to change that. And you know the guy. He was named Female Athlete of the Year. Did you know that? It's true. And she didn't break the record, but he broke the record that day. You know what the number was? 38 seconds. So she wanted to break it by an eighth of a second, and he broke it by 38 seconds. Or the weightlifter, I think it was like 218 pounds. I know, that's a lot. I can't lift it. I don't know who can. Any of our ex-Trump people, they're all Trump people.
Wow, what a wild ride this whole Trump versus woke culture debate has been, huh? Love him or hate him, you can't deny that the guy has completely reshaped the cultural landscape with his no-holds-barred takedown of woke ideals. Trump didn't just challenge the movement, he turned it into a full-blown spectacle, using a unique blend of humor, bluntness, and good old-fashioned controversy. From bold declarations about gender to fiery debates over fairness in sports, he made sure no one was sitting on the sidelines. So, whether you were cheering him on or shaking your head in disbelief, Trump kept the conversation alive in a way that only he could. Trump's take on woke culture has left an undeniable mark, and as long as he's around, the conversation won't be slowing down anytime soon.